All right, welcome to another Build It with Phil. Actually, Phil, I'm just trying to get your screen up here so I can see you. No, I can't seem to pin you for some reason. Anyway, there we go. All right, well, look forward to seeing what you've been doing. It's been an exciting few weeks, hasn't it, in the Holochain ecosystem? So who knows what you've been up to?
I do.
There's a rumor you've built an upgrade to Elemental Chat in 2 hours in your spare time.
No, because I'm going to use Elemental Chat as a learning experience to figure out all the DNA stuff that I haven't done yet, but we'll get that. No, what I did do is I built a version control system.
Okay, let's see.
So we don't need GitHub anymore. All right, so since we last spoke, there's a few changes. I changed the menu around a bit so it's more applicable to what's going on.
Yep.
This is the builder tool, by the way, which is now using the new Nick shell stuff for all the RSM stuff. So that's brilliant.
Yep.
Which means that to do this with Builder, you just need Yarn installed and Nick shell running, and you can do all the stuff I'm about to show you. Just pull this down from the repo, and this will all be like made for public consumption after FOSDEM or before FOSDEM, so that we can get people on it then.
Okay. Can you just tell us quickly what FOSDEM is and what you're going to be doing there, just for people watching?
Free open source conference. It's happening in the 7th of February. I'm hoping that's US 6th because I'm DJing on the 6th of February. So my first gig in like 12 months because nothing's happened.
And you're going to be demoing this?
Yeah, so I recorded a demo with Bear last week and they're using that video. What I'm hoping to do is give them an updated video before it goes to air. Yep. And then what they're going to do is they play the video and then there's like an hour Q&A afterwards. And what I want to do with the Q&A is instead of just asking questions and stuff is actually lead people through building something.
Amazing.
Yeah, because I really want to work with the derivative work stuff that Arthur's been talking about, where you can take something, make a derivative work out of it, and then when you publish it, then everybody back up the chain gets their cut. So yep. I think that whole thing will just make stuff totally viral, but in a really cool way. Yep. Okay, so we've done, creating a new app and adding a module. I'm also using that same approach. So remember these modules?
Yep, I sure do.
Right. So when you install one of these, it uses the Vue CLI service. What I'm going to do is the same for layouts, views, components, and other bits and pieces for this and DNAs and things like that, because you can make them, like the Vue CLI service is beautiful for modifying your project in whatever way you need, which makes all this stuff really, really pluggable, which means that things like hackathons and demos and stuff, somebody can build something like a little module or whatever. And there'll be a button here for publish, and that'll get published, and then somebody else in the hackathon can just go cheers and use it straight away. So we'll get that whole fast turnaround.
That's really cool.
DNA. So now when you, because you can add multiple DNAs to this now, and then you can test each one individually as well, and it does all that kind of stuff. It also, you can duplicate and do all sorts of cool stuff with entry types now. So I'll show you that in a sec. Just want to make sure this, I'm literally like, this is like seat of the pants stuff because I've been hacking all day trying to figure out how to kill my node processes properly, but it's a bit more difficult than I thought. All right, cool. So if we have a look at our project here, you can see we have different entry types in our zone down here. Entries, we have client, consultant, and invoice. Now, what I've been doing is like, this is an actual app that I'm actually using to bill my customers. So we'll start that up and let that run. Takes a few minutes. And what I built was a version control system that is not reliant on using this app. You can make changes on your file system. You can use a dev tool or Visual Studio, whatever you like. And all of those changes get pulled up into the source control system when you do a get status. So I've kind of used the Git language a little bit for that, but it's not exactly the same as Git. So you can, do commits, you can create branches, and you can merge the branches back together now. And what happens is every time you do a get status, it actually takes any changes off the file system, puts them in here, and then compares, right? So this is what was in your last commit. So if you're doing like a commit down a branch, it checks to see, right, what changes have you made? If you've added a file, there's a list of added files, same for deleted. And any updates are actually stored as a GNU patch. So it's a very standard way of doing it. And then when it comes time to merge, at the moment, I'm only allowing merges back to the parent because I'm still working on this. But to do a merge, what it does is it says, right, in this branch, this is the aggregate changes for the whole branch. And now I'm going to apply those to the target branch. And in the list I'll show you, it actually does the patch and tells you if it's going to work or not. So come on, WebTac, too slow. All right, done.
There we go.
So we go and look at collaborate, get status. You'll see here we now have a nice Git graph.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Thank you. So yeah, it tells you what happened, who did it, when it happened, and any messages that they've done. So you can see here that I branched it out to do, I was going to work on invoices. As I started to work on invoices, I realized I needed a consultant profile.
Yep.
So I added another branch. The numbers here at the moment are going to line up with the tasks in the Kanban board that's coming very soon.
Got it.
Right, so you can see down here, we can't branch because we've got uncommitted changes. If you have a look on here, you can see this is the commit for changing to the new branch.
Yep.
When you change the new branch, what it does is it takes a copy of the files at that point in time, and they become the new files for the next branch. And then in Holochain, what's going to happen is there'll only be one instance of each of these files because they'll be linked to the commits. So, so that's the commits. Let's have a look at changes. So you can see here I've got some changes. Open it up. Yep, that looks right. That's what I've been working on. So what was I doing? Oops, that's an interesting spelling. Fetching and showing. You're right. Now you can either press enter, you can click the little button over here, or you can press commit. Up to you. Right, so now there are no uncommitted changes. If we go back to commits, you'll see we've got this extra commit now.
Yep.
And we should have it shown here, right? Fetching and showing consultant profile. And now that I've got no no changes pending, I can merge. So let's wing it and do a demo. Right. So we've got a new branch now. And one thing that really annoys me about using Git is when you do a Git checkout and you check out a new branch, cool, it gets all the files, but it doesn't get you anything generated, which when you're doing web development means that you've got this old node modules folder with all the versions of the other branch, not the one you're working on. And half the time you do stuff and things don't work and you're like, no, what's going on? And then you realize, oh, I didn't update my node modules. So what I do is when you change branches, it'll actually delete the entire contents of your folder, and then it will rewrite everything back from the source control here, and then it reruns the yarn install. So it's all done in one go. So let's make a simple change so you can see what's going on. Oh, actually, I'll show you. So that git ignore file, let's, I'm going to go into the file system. Where is it? File system. Here we go. Right. And let's go to that project. changes. Right, let's change the name of this gitignore file to demo.markdown. Right, so in Git, what that does is you've now deleted the gitignore file and added a new file called demo. So if we go into a collaborate, which now goes and picks up all the files off the file system and updates any changes, you can see we should have a change here. No, not yet. I haven't got that far. So our file is gone. Where was it? Demo MD. Right. So you can see that was the gitignore file. I'll just leave it like that. So now if we go and look at collaborate, I should have a change here. Yeah. See, added and deleted. Right. Changes. Right. So, right. Now what we can do is let's go and do let's merge it in now. So I'll just show you make sure we're on the right folder.
Yep.
So we did demo, right?
Yep.
So that's not changed. Actually, I'll have to change it one up. Let's go edit demo. That's Command S to save. So I'm building as many keyboard shortcuts in as I can because I love them. Right. So now if we go and look at that again. And changes. So no changes. Why not? No, there it is. Right. Right. So this is another change. And now we'll just go and check that file. So that's edited there, right?
Yep.
So you can see up the top here, we're in the demo branch for David, and that's the name of the project, Ledger. So if we go back here and go to, let's go and change the branch.
Yep.
I'll change back to one I was working on, consultant profile. So now, something wrong with my tree refreshing at the moment, sorry about that. Right, so the file is now gone, right? Because we switched back to another branch.
Yep.
And I've got my gitignore file. Very nice. All right, so let's go back to the branch we were working on. Oh yeah, and just to show you, the node modules is back. Sweet. Right, so let's do git status again. Now we can change branch to demo branch for David. Syntax there. Right, so now we can merge this branch back in. So we're going to merge your branch into the two consultant profile. So I'm going to merge. Right. So all my merges are gone, which is right. And just refresh that for shits and giggles. So now that has switched us. There you go. Merged it into the two consultant profile. That's cool. So we should be able to switch to this one. I need a few more UI things saying things are done. I think I hit the button too early. Yeah. There we go. No, that's not what I wanted, is it? Sorry about that. Anyway, so what I wanted to show you is these ticks. So what this means is that I've checked that the patch is going to be applied to that text file, and it's actually going to work. And that's when you get a tick. So that should work. So it's pretty good. Not 100% perfect, but it will be pretty soon. Right, I think that was the main thing. Yeah, no, it's cool. Right, so that profile. Right, so some other things I've been doing is
Really cool, by the way. Just
thank
while
you.
you're pausing to think, really, really, really cool.
Yeah, what I want to do is, because it's not perfect yet, so I'm just going to take a copy. So don't break it. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way this tree's coming up. So I've been messing around with it today a bit because it's another library and it's designed for Git, so I had to make a few changes. But it's nice, you know, it shows you what's going on and you can tell where you are. So
yeah, exactly. It's looking really good.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Oh, okay. So my favorite thing about this whole thing is that all we need to store in Holochain is these commits. So it's a really simple Holochain DNA. You literally just store these commits as a list. And so you'll have like a path to commits and then with a link to all of the commits. And then there'll be a path to the branch name as well, which you get out of here. And then you can link all the commits off that so that you can then pull a branch or pull all the commits, because this whole tree and everything is just done off this list of commits, which means that it's super simple. So all these files that are stored, so all these updated files, you would actually get a new entry in Holochain for that file because the content has changed. But when you create a branch, so face the other way. Yeah, so this one here. So when you create a branch, it gives you a copy of all the files. So if the file hasn't changed, the entry hash word is going to be the same. So it's just going to the existing one. So we'll get a really efficient DNA in Holochain, but this really rich experience, which is I'm super happy about it.
Yep.
Okay. So the next thing I wanted to show you was that's right, installing new stuff. So let's go and I don't know, just give me, I'm just going to start from scratch because I want to show you something.
Cool.
DevOps, let's go here and let's get everything out of, yeah. Yeah, this IndexedDB thing, it's so cool.
You're so excited by it, huh?
Oh, well, it just makes everything so easy. And like debugging stuff and figuring out what actually went into Holochain, where you can see it directly in there. Really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so start from scratch. Let's go, new application. Simple, and we'll call it demo. So what I want to show you now is some of the DNA tools I've built. And what I'm doing is I'm building tools as I go along. So I'm building this invoicing app. And as I need something like duplicate entry type, because I just want to have basically the same functionality but make some changes, I built that, all that kind of stuff. So it's getting pretty close to being done. And completion hooks, here we go. Oh, done. So we now have our standard simple app that we were looking at before.
Yep.
And in here we have the simple DNA. So what I want to do though is I want to add that module in like we did last time. So we'll add a module, same sort of thing. And here, project management, invoicing, we'll add this module, which is the ledger one. Which has its own DNA called ledger.
Yep.
Done. Right. That is now redrawn. So we have two DNAs, ledger and simple. What's really neat about that is you can go up here and you can test either of them. So we'll do ledger. And what it's doing there is it's checking, have you installed the testing tools yet? If not, it goes and gets them. And all these tests are running, see this line here? That is showing us that I'm actually running the holochain binary inside my Nixstore. Yeah, so I want everyone to be aware of the Nix shell. And at the moment it's, I'll show you some code. You can run the conductor like this now. So you can actually go Nix shell, and then that, if you do that in a normal terminal, should run the Nix shell for us. Right, done. Now that was really quick for me because I've already got it all cached. Right, so first time it's got a lot of run, but once it's running, it's super fast. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't know about Nix shell is you can do this. You can do -- run. So if we do like that. So I'm going to load up the Nix shell, and then I'm going to ask it which holochain, and then it will exit. Done. So that's pretty cool. Still compiling. Okay. What else did I want to show you? Did we do the development conductor last time, where you could reset it easily? No, we did installing agents and things.
Exactly. Did we do the development? I don't think so. I don't remember it clearly. I remember the main thing I take from the last one is just being blown away at suddenly how all this stuff that you've been working on suddenly was coming together in this interface.
Yeah.
And suddenly, like I could just start to see the power of all of the pieces in one.
Yeah, so this lines up really well with what Belinda was talking about.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, these tools are a little bit developer-y, but because of the CLI process for those, installing the modules like we just did, you'll be able to install anything, like any pieces. So we can just make, we have people that build pieces, people that build modules, and people that build apps, and then you have people that put them all together.
Yep.
Right, so in the dev conductor, you can do this and reset it. And what that did was smashed it all. So there's nothing in the files folder now. So there's no conductor running at all. So if I press play here, that will start us up in the conductor. Boom, it's done. So when you make changes to your DNA and stuff like that, it's easy to make the changes. Also, when you do the install process, so now I'm just got to build the DNA for simple as well. And what that gives us is that'll give us two DNA GZ files, which then when you do the install process in the conductor, it actually adds both of them in there. what else can we look at?
I think that's it. That's great for today.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, the source control thing is really, really fun. Like, it's actually like I'm actually enjoying using it. I often find with Git, I get, am I supposed to do a reset because I made a mistake, or do I do reset hard, or how do I check out a commit and make a branch in there, and all this kind of stuff that was driving me bonkers. So on the list of the commits, actually, you can create a branch from a commit as well. Because quite often what happens to me is I'll check out a commit, make some changes to it, and then push it back into the same branch, and then you just end up with often that doesn't work. You got merge conflicts and all this kind of stuff that and then it's hard to fix it, right? I end up just delete it and clone the repo again and start again because I just can't figure out how to do all those commands, which I'm sure other people can do, but I can't be bothered. So I built this source control system to work for me. Hopefully that's what other people do.
Amazing.
Really want to show you what happens when you install multiple DNAs. So let's test and take a couple of seconds to run. Yeah, really getting into the hang of using buffers and things like that for binary data now, because we can actually store binary data directly in Holochain now. It doesn't have to be a JSON file, which is really cool. All right, so now we've got our two DNAs, simple and ledger done. We go back to the conductor and we can add let's go. Conductor was the name. So this is going to work. Nah. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's the mode thing I was trying to figure out before. I'm having trouble killing the Nick shell process that I've spun up as a child. So but I'm getting there. Yeah, so that's the main things, just to show you all the collaborate stuff. So what's going to happen is that next, so this just does local commits, and then I'm going to have a push, here. So you'll be able to push your commits to Holochain and save them actually in the DNA. And then there'll be pull and pull branch and stuff like that as well.
So cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Nah, cool. I have got some fun stuff to show. Duplicate entry type. So let's go and name one. So I want to duplicate the thing entry type, and we'll call it David. And what we should get is simply zones, simply source entries. There we go, David. And what they did was that they copied the existing one thing and changed every reference to thing to David, capitals, all that kind of stuff, using some tools like grep and sed to make all the changes. That's why it's so quick. Like you don't have to iterate through this stuff. You just like their system commands, smash it in. It also creates you a set of tests. So here's your tests. And all you need to do is just add that on there. Should work there, and then you just need to add it into the entries list. So I could automate some of this stuff, but and then in the lib file, you just need to do the same. And this is going to be, and we need our functions. So they're the same functions because we copied it. these ones here are going to be just got the capital one as well. By the way, this is my editor that we're using. Oops, no, too far up. So this is the I was using it. The CodeMirror editor. But you can just as easily use Visual Studio and do the collaboration stuff. And all of these functions, like all this test and all that kind of stuff, works off the file system files, so that you can use the two tools together if you like.
Cool.
Right, so now we've got our new thing. Should we go and test it?
Let's test it.
Ledger. We should have a new entry called David. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just set the David tests to be the only ones. We'll just do one. DNA test. Oh, it's in the wrong one. Yeah, simple. Right, here we go. Boom. Could not compile. What have I done? Undeclared module David. Oh, okay, I know what I've done. There's another file to update. Entries. No, lib. This one. I need. No, not that one. Oh, here it goes. Entries. There we go. Compiled in 2.78 seconds. And run the test. Cool. So there you go. DNA tools as well.
Wow.
You can also rename stuff too. So didn't really want to call it thing. Let's call it a new. Let's change thing to close it down. Oops. And we'll have a look in here. We should have renamed the zone from entry type from Sing to Harley.
Yeah, super.
Look at that. Actually works.
That's really cool.
So that's all changed to Harley. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just need to change this one to.
Yeah, just a few places. That's really cool.
And if we change thin capitals, I just need to make another group for this. I just haven't got through.
Yeah.
And entries. It's going to be. There. That should all work. Oh, bang, bang. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah. So, okay. The test, sorry, I was in the wrong spot. See it renamed the folder or anything for us, which was nice of it. nice of me. Right, so because what I'm trying to build here is a way for derivative work to just be a thing.
Yep.
So like, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy group, the Lingus group and all that, they can just go, right, here's something, we'll start off with this simple module with this thing plugged in. Right, I don't want to call thing anymore. It needs to be called this.
Yep. Yep. I want to add this. I want to do this. Do you know, I want to test this. I want to, yeah. Okay. Phenomenal. Well, we try and keep to 30 minutes. There's a ton of exciting stuff though to show today. This is, yeah, it's coming to life. I got so excited after the last one. I was just pinging everyone.
There you go. You can read as well.
Yeah. So yeah, can't wait to see what you're up to in a couple of weeks, and I guess I'll catch you just after FOSDEM.
Yeah.
A couple of days after FOSDEM.
Yeah, I'm going to do the demo with Tasheen from the London Meetup group that week as well. Okay, that actually worked pretty well. Pretty happy about that. Yeah, heaps of fun. So that's what we're doing following agents. I wanted to show you that. that this is super important, this one. Let's get a picture of you, Master, that'll do. Grab a key.
Hey, David Master.
Oh no, I broke the, that's right, we broke the conductor, didn't we? That's right. Just means that when like the cell IDs for each of the multiple DNAs, they come up in the query string with their own name. So simple will be simple cell ID, ledger has ledger cell ID.
Yep.
So your one UI can coordinate with multiple DNAs easily.
Yep.
Super fun.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I can't wait to see what you've got. Let's close today. And yeah, catch you in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And yeah, thank you so much, Phil. This is phenomenal work. Really, really phenomenal.
Well, yeah, I want to get by FOSDEM. I'm going to have the publishing thing working. So you'll just be able to build an app and go right, publish. And that'll do all the NPM registering for you and stuff. And then we'll have the Kanban app as well, all built in.
So cool. So cool.
Next thing I want is the mutual credit currency for each of the organizations. So you've got multiple repos in an organization so that you can say, right, do that work, it's this much.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, well, that's one of the things, like when we've heard from people in the open source ecosystem being able to combine the power of Git with the power of micropayments or task-based payments in a simple way, there's a So here you go. We're watching it. Everyone who's here, we're watching it come to life piece by piece.
Yes, exactly. So what I want to do is work with Belinda and the Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy group and start building generic modules.
Yep.
For whatever we need, like all this legal, financial instruments, I think Stephen Alexander calls them.
Yep.
So that other organizations can put them all together in their own way.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's just, because we've got Belinda doing the low code stuff with GM, but let's just get some of that stuff recorded as well, because so much of the pattern is being about, it's not just what you're building, but it's showing the process. So people can start to see how your thoughts have built up over a period of time. So yeah, let's get some of this recorded as well along the way. Just send me a message as it's starting to happen, and we can set up a few sessions.
For sure.
Amazing.
Yeah, so my plan is now I'm just going to finish off this invoicing app. So because I swore to myself I wasn't going to send my client an invoice until I finished building the app.
Yep.
I need the money, so I need to get it done. So I'll send it off and then we'll have a complete app. Yeah.
Cool.
Excellent.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, cool. Well, we can stop recording now, and yeah.